Hello everybody, Jordan here. The PH is silent. The Descent live event is going on as I'm writing this video. The new storyline called Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus will be out this September in 2019. So let's talk about Avernus, which is the first layer of the Nine Hells, and maybe some of the lore you might want to know. Demons and devils are fighting one another. This is essentially the gist of the Blood War, and Avernus is the front line of the Blood War, well, the first defense of the Nine Hells against the demons. They might make it to Avernus, but they won't make it to the other layers of the Nine Hells, certainly not making it to Asmodeus, who rules the Plain of Bator or the Nine Hells. Avernus is the first layer of the Nine Hells. Each layer has its own particular quirks and is ruled by an Archdevil. Avernus is a charred wasteland, rocky and harsh, with an angry red sky. Almost volcanic, it's full of devils, with the river Styx cutting through it. The river Styx links the topmost layer of the lower planes. It cuts through the plains of Acheron, the Nine Hells, Gehenna, Hades, Tartarus, the Abyss, and Pandemonium. Now in 4th edition, the river Styx emptied all of its sludge it gathered from those lower planes into the Astral Sea, but in 5th edition, this is no longer the case. The Astral Sea is no more and is back to being an astral plane. Because this river links all these planes together, it's a way of traversing the planes and allows creatures to go from a realm like the Abyss and travel to the Nine Hells. Much of the Blood War is fought along this river. That's the easiest way for demons to assault the Nine Hells, and those demons wind up in Avernus. Interestingly enough, the river Styx is also connected to the 5th layer of Hell, Stygia, where it cuts a channel through the great frozen sea of that layer. I didn't find any info on if demons can make it to Stygia or not, so I'm assuming not. In later editions, where we lost the Great Wheel cosmology and replaced it with the World Tree cosmology, the River Styx was renamed the River of Blood, but it is the same river and is commonly referred to as the River Styx in 5th edition D&D. The river is deep and swift, and those who drink from it forget their past lives for a while, and if too much is drunk, they forget permanently. It is rumored that the silt at the bottom of the Styx contains memories of past adventurers who lost themselves to the river, and according to Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, the Shatter Kai sought to collect vials of this sediment to offer it to the Raven Queen. Avernus is where Zariel resides as Archdevil, but she wasn't always the ruler of Avernus and wasn't in fact always an Archdevil. Zariel was once a mighty angel who was charged with watching the tides of the Blood War. In Celestia, she tracked the progress of the Blood War. Now, the interesting thing about the Blood War is that it's out of mind for most of the universe. However, creatures of good watch this war because if the balance ever tipped, the resulting demons or devils could take over the rest of the planes. It's rather nice that the two evils fight each other, but dangerous at the same time. Zariel watched and wanted to solve the problem of the Blood War, wipe out both sides at once, and rid the multiverse of this evil. She believed that an assault from the angels of Celestia could handle the hordes of demons fighting the devils in Avernus, but her superiors refused to allow her to engage in the Blood War. In Asmodeus' history, he was part of a host of angels that were sent to take care of the demons, but became corrupted by those demons and turned into devils. Cast out from heaven, they found a home in the Nine Hells, and because of the rule of law, still carry out their orders to stop the encroaching hordes of the demons from the Abyss. So perhaps this is why Zariel wasn't allowed to fight in the Blood War. Her superiors knew she would ultimately become corrupted, much like the devils before her. Regardless, Zariel acted on her own and led a host of mortal allies into Avernus. It's not clear to me how she got these mortals, but she basically had followers that were willing to fight and die for her. She cut down numerous devils and demons before she was overwhelmed. I assumed most of her followers died or were captured. Later, some bone devils sent by Asmodeus recovered her unconscious body and allowed her to recover in the depths of Nessus, the 9th layer of Hell. Once she was well, Asmodeus does what he does best and made a deal with Zariel, that she could continue her active participation in the Blood War as a general of Avernus. Asmodeus, who is in charge of all the rankings of devils within the Nine Hells, put Bel, the former ruler of Avernus, out of a job and gave it to Zariel. She thus became an Archdevil, and her physical appearance changed to fit that of the harsh conditions of the Nine Hells. Bel usurped Zariel as Archdevil for Avernus for a while, until Asmodeus put him back in his place with Zariel at the top, claiming that Bel's tactics were inadequate in defending Avernus. Bel remains one of Zariel's chief lieutenants, as his knowledge of Avernus and the Blood War are much appreciated. However, unlike Bel, Zariel is a fighter. She lives to be in the front lines tearing down demons. Zeal and fury fill her as she uses her expertise in fighting off wave after wave of demons entering from the River Styx into Avernus. According to Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, Avernus once had cities, outposts, and other features, but most of all of that is gone under Zariel's rule. It is now a ruined wasteland because of the Blood War. What that means is that there are plenty of ruined locations for adventurers to hide in while they explore the Nine Hells, perhaps even discover some long-lost Hell relic that might turn the tides of battle in the Blood War, or at the very least protect the party until they can get out of the Nine Hells. Special thanks to my patrons on Patreon that keep these videos going. If you'd like to become a patron, click on the link in the description or at the end of this video. I've got another video on the Nine Hells that you can check out in the description. If you like D&D lore and are curious about more, hit the subscribe button. I make lore videos detailing the Forgotten Realms and Dungeons & Dragons. I also started some campaign explained videos where I discuss the lore you need to know to run popular 5th edition D&D adventures. Check out those videos and I'll see you all in the next one.